What's up, buddies, and welcome back to my reading journey. Hope we're all doing absolutely fantastic today to be ready for a new story. It's not gonna be the long story, but yeah, probably consists with 3 parts. The story is Girl. Let's do this. In gilt letters on the ground glass of the door of room number 862 were 962 were the words Robbins and Hartley brokers. The clerks had gone. It was past 5, and with the solid tramp of a draw of prize percherons, scrubwomen were in waiting. The cloud caped 20-story office building. A puff of red-hot air flavored with lemon peelings, soft coal smoke, and train all oil came in through the half-open windows. Robbins, 50, something of an overweight beau, and addicted to first nights and hotel palm rooms, pretended to be envious of his partner's commuter's joys. Going to be something doing in the humidity line tonight, he said. You out-of-town chaps will be that people with your Katydids and moonlight and long drinks and things out of the front porch. Hartley, 29, serious, thin, good-looking, nervous, sighed and frowned a little. Yes, said he, we always have cool nights in Floralhurst, especially in the winter. A man with an air of mystery came in the door and went up to Hartley. I found where she lives, he announced in the portentous, half whisper that makes the detective at work a marked bane to his fellow men. Hartley scolded him into a state of dramatic silence and quietude. But by that time, Robbins had got his cane and set his tie-pin to his liking, and with a debonair nod, went out to his metropolitan amusements. Here is the address, said the detective, in a natural tone, being deprived of an audience to foil. Hartley took her leave, torn out of the Slough dingy memorandum book. On it were penciled the words Vivigny, Arlington, number 341 East Street, care of Mrs. McComus. Moved there a week ago, said the detective. Now, if you want any shadowing done, Mr. Hartley, I can do you as fine a job in the line as anybody in the city. It will be only $7 a day and expenses. Can send in a daily typewritten report covering. You needn't go on, interrupted the broker. It isn't a case of that kind. I I merely wanted the address. How much shall I pay you? 1 day's work, said the sleuth. A tenner will cover it. Hartley paid the man and dismissed him. Then he left the office and boarded a Broadway car. At the first large crosstown artery of travel, he took an eastbound car that disposed him in a decaying avenue, whose ancient structures once sheltered the pride and glory of the town. Walking a few squares, he came to the building that he sought. It was a new, flat house, bearing carved upon its cheap stone portal its sonorous name, the Vallambrosa. Fire escapes zigzagged down its front. These laden with household goods, drying clothes, and squalling children, evicted by the midsummer heat. Here and there, a pale rubber plant peeped from the miscellaneous mass, as if wondering to what kingdom it belonged, vegetable, animal, or artificial. Hartley pressed the McCombus button. The door latch clicked spasmodically. Now hospitality, now doubtfully, as thought in anxiety whether it might be admitted friends or duns. Hartley entered and began to climb the stairs after the manner of those who seek their friends in city flat houses, which is the matter of a boy who climbs an apple tree, stopping when he comes upon what he wants. On the fourth floor, he saw Winnie standing in an open door. She invited him inside, and not with a nod and a bright, genuine smile. She placed a chair for him near a window and poised herself gracefully upon the edge of one of those Jekyll and Hyde pieces of furniture that are masking and mysteriously hooded. Unguessable bugs by day and inquisitorial rags of torture by night. Hartley cast a quick, critical, appreciative glance at her before speaking, and told himself that his taste in choosing had been flawless. Vivienne was about 21. She was of the pure Saxon type. Her hair was a ruddy golden, edge flamant of the neatly gathered mass shining with its own luster and delicate gradation of color at perfect harmony were her ivory clear complexion and deep sea blue eyes that looked upon the world with the ingenuous calmness of mermaid of the Pixie of an undiscovered mountain stream. Her frame was strong and yet possessed the grace of absolute naturalness. And yet, with her northern clearness and frankness of line and coloring, there seemed to be something of the topics in her, something in languor, and the door of her pose of love of is in her ingenious complacency, ingenious complacency of satisfaction and comfort in the mere act of breathing, something that seemed to claim for her a right as a perfect work of nature to exist and be admired equally with the rare flower or some beautiful milk white dove among its sober-hued companions. Sorry. All right, guys. The describing of that girl has ended, and the story goes on. But what's going next? We're gonna figure out tomorrow. Thank you for joining me today. See you. Bye.